Today on the Marilyn Denis Show, the best children's books you've never heard of.
Okay, so reading to your kids is very important, but with so many great books out there, it can be really hard to choose. So here to show us the best children's book you've never heard of is the founder of wordsbymom.com. Please welcome Heather Feldstein. Nice to have you with us today.
Hi, thank you.
Mommy of two.
Mommy of two.
And how old are your kids?
My daughter's 8 and my son turned 6 last week.
Okay, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So let's talk about, there's different, we've got 3 tables and you've kind of categorized some of them.
Yes.
So let's begin.
Okay, so here on this table, what I did was I categorized books about friendship because we have to teach kids to be good friends. Sometimes we have to teach grown-ups to be good friends too, but it starts in childhood. So books about friendship are really a great way to talk to your kid about.
Is that how you start finding a book that, are you looking for a category or a thought process before you go looking for a book?
You know, what draws me to a good book, there's 3 things. One, it has to have a good message in it. It doesn't have to be overpowering, but it has to be something that you or your kid can take away from the book. So it has to have some meaning. It has to have authenticity. And what I mean by that is if the character isn't genuine and the voice of the book isn't genuine, the kid isn't going to respond well to it.
Right.
Kids are smarter than we sometimes give them credit for.
I know, I agree with that.
Yeah. And the third one is the illustrations.
Yeah.
The illustrations are so important because as you're reading the book to your kids, they're looking at the pictures.
Were we just saying one of your children were talking about a book?
One of my kids, there's a book, an all-time favorite of mine, that my children never wanted me to read to them because they said, he's not a good drawer.
So they do, they criticize.
They do. So the pictures have to be bright and cheery and engaging, and that's really what creates the fun experience, because reading should be fun.
It should be fun.
It should be fun.
So categories friendship.
The categories friendship. So the first book I brought was Children Make Terrible Pets, which is an interesting perspective on friendship, because the bear takes the little boy home. And she realizes that sometimes doing the right thing isn't always the easy thing to do. So that's a great book to give it a bit of a different perspective. Sure. The next one I brought is a dinosaur called Tiny, which a lot of kids know, and I know from personal experience, that when you're the little one, you get picked on, and you kind of sometimes have to overcompensate. I did it with a mouth, but people do it different ways. And this is a great book because he meets a...
You did it with a what?
My mouth.
Okay, all right.
Ask anyone who knows me.
Okay, all right.
So he meets a bird, and the bird, through their friendship, he really ends up being larger than life.
That's great.
And this is really one of my favorite books, Smitten. It's about a sock and a mitten, and it's a really, really sweet story about a sock and a mitten who are searching for their lost counterparts.
Oh, wow.
And they go through a lot of adventures, and they're a little worse for wear at the end. Kind of like a marriage. It can actually pertain to marriage as well, and relationships like you were just talking about, because they're a little worse for wear, as I said, but their love grows, and they work it out, and they're a great pair.
Table number 2?
Table number 2 is books celebrating individuality. Kids learn early on if they're different. Kids learn early on what some kids have that they don't, or what they have that other kids don't. So books to speak to your kids about that very topic is important. So the first book is Spork, and Spork was born from a parent who's a spoon and a parent who's a fork. So he has trouble finding his way in the utensil drawer. And
okay, that is hysterical. I love it.
It is very sweet, but the message, of course, is clear, and it's important, and it's a really sweet way to tell the story.
Yeah.
This one is Bradley McGogg, The Very Fine Frog. I was drawn to this book because my son's name is Bradley. But I was so pleasantly surprised to see that it's such a beautiful book. It's written in rhyme, and the text is rich. It's about a frog who goes out to look for food. He's hungry, and he meets all his friends in the forest, and his palate is a little different. They don't appreciate the taste of bugs, as he does. So it really is a good way to talk to your kids about different tastes and individuality.
Yeah, right. And this one?
This should be in every little girl's personal library. Not all princesses dress in pink. My daughter has this book. I know my little nieces have this book. And every girl I know, for a birthday party, I buy this book. It really, the message is clear that you can be a princess no matter what. You can wear your soccer cleats. You can wear your ripped jeans. We are all worthy of princess status.
We are. Don't you feel that way? We do. This is great. These are great gift-giving ideas, and I know you got more there, too. You know, I just thought about, too, you know, as I look about, my son's 23, but there were books that he requested at nighttime that I would go, oh, good, he requested that book. And then there were books I was going, oh, God, read that book again. And the thing is that you have to love the book, too. You become more animated, you're more invested in it. Even if you don't finish the book, it's okay, because you have a conversation with it.
Absolutely.
I miss those times, I really do.
I think a good picture book isn't really just written for the kids. I think it's written for the parents, too.
That's right.
It needs to be.
Table number 3, category.
Bible is about the beauty of imagination and creativity. With all the technology today, sometimes we don't see our kids enjoying their imagination as much as they used to.
Right.
So these books really kind of bring that to light. The first one, When a Dragon Moves In, is about a little boy and his imaginary friend who's a dragon, and he takes his dragon to the beach. And it's also the beauty of an imaginary friend is you can kind of send them packing when you've had enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of what he does. But it's a really sweet book about imagination.
Great.
The next one is Blackout, and it really takes us back to the basics. We've all experienced blackouts, and we're thinking, oh my gosh, we can't use our TV, we can't do this, we can't do that. But what can we do? And we can just make it fun, and we turn off technology, and we can be creative with this one. Read it with your kid, you know, under the covers with a flashlight.
Oh, yeah,
read
sure.
it by the campfire. The possibilities are endless when you use your imagination.
And what would you do if that happened to us? And where would you go? And how would you live your life? Yeah. And then this?
Ish. This is one of my favorite books. It's about a little boy who loves to draw until his big brother alerts him to the fact that he's not very good.
Oh.
So he gets very discouraged and crumples up all his attempts. And so he realizes that his little sister has uncrumpled all the works and hung them in a gallery in her room. And he says, well, I can't draw. You know, one of the best parts of the book is he says, it doesn't look like a vase. And she says, but it's vase-ish. And so, you know, all of us are ish creators.
Right.
And some of us more ish than others. But you know what? When we're motivated and we're supported, our talents and our possibilities can grow.
Sure. Great books that you've suggested, that's for sure. Now, when you are reading to your little ones at night, do you just, the books are up in their bedroom? Is that, I'm just trying to kind of create this scenario with you. And do you let them pick the book?
I
or
do.
Yeah?
I tell each of my kids, go pick a book. Meet me here. We're going to read. We'll read one book first and then the other. So, of course, it's an argument. Sometimes I don't want what she picked. I don't want what he picked. But at the end of the day, that's also, you know, tolerance.
That's right.
And we learn to appreciate what we don't always want to read. But they love it, and it's such an important way to spend time with your kids.
Well, great. Thanks for doing it. I love this. You know, always kind of stuck on what to buy somebody when they have a baby or what to buy when, you know, little ones are having their birthdays.
Great
You did a great job. Great job. Thank you. Everyone in the audience is going to get an Indigo Chapters gift pack, including a $100 gift card and some of the books Heather showed us today. So she has done the work for us. Thank you so much. Nice to see you. See you again. Okay, we'll be right back. Thank you so much. Love that.
Guys, it's amazing.
It's an amazing book.